Hey, hey, Dumb and Weak.
Hi, hi,
Hi, podcast.
hi, podcast.
Hi, podcast.
Hi, podcast.
Um, we
Want to die?
want to die. This is the second time that we've had difficulties recording this podcast. Not this specific one, just Dumb and Weak in general. Because I was gonna say week. Podcast,
Yeah, weak.
last podcast we had to record it twice because it didn't work. We had some problems. We saved it as the wrong file, and we couldn't convert it.
Yeah.
Um, and this week,
Speaking of that,
both of our microphones were set to default rather than our actual microphone,
yeah.
even though that we've both
Used.
recorded before.
Yeah.
So
Now we know to check that before we start.
now we know to check that before we start. And
But
we
MP4 is what it's supposed to be saved as, yeah?
MP4,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, just want to make sure that that wasn't fucked up too, because,
So we're gonna do this a little differently. We got questions, we tried to answer them. We got all the funny parts out of it.
yeah, sure.
We got all our funny parts out of it. So I think we're just gonna raw dog this podcast.
On our podcast,
I think you and I are just gonna talk to each other.
I'm down with this.
Um
Can I do my off-screen funny preparation?
your off-screen funny preparation?
Yeah.
Could you make it on screen?
I don't think I'm allowed to.
What? Go on. Slurp. Ah, slurp. Hmm. Hmm. So, so, listeners, I'm gonna call.
Okay.
So I'm sick,
I'm weak.
and
No.
I'm sick. I've been sick for 2 days now. And we're recording this. We did maybe I don't know. I don't think there's any way to salvage it. But
No.
we did a segment on War and Peace. We did a segment on sickness. Montez got the second president of the United States wrong again.
Bullshit.
We answered 2 questions, and we did a little bit of a story.
Yeah. And then we probably should have like professionally done like a test recording just to make sure that everything was still set up
we
right.
definitely should have. We should have, and we didn't.
We didn't. We were like, let's do the podcast.
Let's do a genuine first
Yeah.
record, and then we forgot. Maybe
we were
testing it.
We were wanting to do like a less of a show vibe because I felt last time I was trying real hard to like make it like we were trying to do more of a casual thing.
Yeah,
and it kind of worked, but
we couldn't record it.
No.
So, oh Lord,
what do we want to talk about for an hour?
What do we want? I mean, it doesn't have to be one thing.
Sure.
Have you had anything interesting go on? Don't say no.
Yes. I have been working.
You've been working, yeah.
I'm currently a busser, and I'm gonna move up to serving because that's an interesting topic to talk about. And I got you and Lucas a job there, so I got that coming in, and I'm excited for that. But that's not funny, so we shouldn't talk about it.
No. You know what? I'll tell a story about Lucas.
Let's tell a story about our friends.
I'll tell a story about Lucas. I love Lucas. Lucas, if you're listening, I love you so much, and I know you know this story because I've told this story a bajillion times. Montez, I'm not sure if you've heard this story. This is a great story about my friend Lucas. Our friend Lucas. back in senior year, when we were about to graduate, um, Lucas was having a graduation party with his family. And he invited all of his friends, of which were all busy, except for me. All of his friends were busy until later when all of his family would leave. So it was going to be me during the family part, and so it's going to be family and me, and then friends and me and Lucas, obviously. Right? So it was gonna be Lee and Lucas against the world, and then friends and everybody. Just because they were all doing something else, I don't remember. Um, but I go to his family graduation. This is before we moved in together. We were planning on moving in together. Um, we either just graduated or were about to graduate. Um, and Lucas, my dear, lovely, lovely friend, um, I come in and he's like, "Hey, come on upstairs. Um, we have people," and I'm like, "Great." And I'm like, "Cool." And then I walk upstairs, and his mom says to me, "Hey, Xander, I have some family members who are going to be here who can get you into being an electrician like you want. Their names are Uncle Jerry and Aunt Tom or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
Um,
obviously.
I
One was
I'll
a
let you
mouse and
know.
one was a cat.
I'll send you their way whenever they get here." I'm like, "You know what? Thank you so much. Lucas, can I talk to you for a second?" And I go downstairs, and I go, "Lucas, fuck was that about?" And he goes, "Hey, did I not tell you? I told my parents that you wanted to be an electrician." And I go,
What?
"Why?" And he goes, "I don't know. I kind of panicked." And I go, "I don't know anything about being an electrician." And he goes, "Sorry?"
Sorry.
And
Yeah.
I go, "Yeah, I'm fine lying for you. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Hey, Jenny and Robert, his parents, I'm sorry if this is the way that you're finding out. If you're watching my podcast, they're lovely people, by the way. They care for me genuinely.
Met them a few times. They
Um,
seemed like nice people.
I I am sorry if this is the way you're finding out. Regardless." And I'm like, "I'm fine lying for you, but let me know." And
Right?
he's like, "I swear to God, I let you know." And I go, "I think I'd remember if I had."
We
I'm like,
wouldn't be
"I
having
just
this
covered your."
conversation.
Yeah, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I'm like, I'm like, my dream at the time was to be a comedian in some way, which I'm currently trying to pursue with this comedy podcast. Um, and so you know what, it stays. But regardless,
Right?
I know next nothing about being an electrician. My dad was an electrician for the Air Force, I believe. Um, and so I know a few things from that. He's taught me a few things, and when I say a few things, I mean I don't know how many things. We'll figure out. Um, it was one. Um, do not cut a live wire. Super easy.
Yeah.
Super easy. Brilliant. Give it. Turn off lights.
Yeah.
Two. They called him Sparky because he would cut live wire, and it would it would spark back up at him. And three. Um, I don't remember anything.
Always wear a condom.
Always wear a condom. Keep your grades up. Um, um, the shittiest part is that I went into maintenance, and so I've learned more about being an electrician
Yeah.
because I've done electrician things now, and so I know genuinely more about being an electrician now than I did back then. And so when I was telling the story, I would know the parts that I did know, and now I don't.
Yeah.
But anyway, they called him Sparky. Oh, and the third thing was that there's one guy in every like group of electricians named Sparky or nicknamed Sparky.
Yeah.
Right. So it was don't cut live wire. Um they called him Sparky, and there's
Every
always
group's
one
got
Sparky.
yeah.
Yeah, there's always one Sparky. And that's the three things I knew about electricity and like being an electrician. So I immediately have to talk to Uncle Jerry. Uncle Jerry pops up, one of the first people, and um, Jenny, Lucas's mom, kind of guides me to him and goes, "You guys talk. I'll be over there." And I go, "Great."
Yay.
And so I sit there and I shoot the shit with Uncle Jerry. And we're going back and forth, and I go down the list. I go, "Hey," and he's like, what's gotten you into electricity? I'm like, "Yeah, my dad was an electrician." He's like, that's cool. Does anyone have any fun stories? I'm like, "I knew they called him Sparky," and he starts laughing, and we both laugh,
Like,
and
it's Sparky.
and yeah, and he goes, "There's always a Sparky," and I go, "Ah." I'm like, "And that's why you don't cut live wire." And he's like, "That's very true." And that's I ran through all three things I knew in 5 minutes. I have to talk to him for 10 more minutes. And so we talk and we talk. And we're going. And I'm just kind of going, and he's like, "Yeah, the best way to join is through the union." And I learned my fourth thing about being an electrician: go through the union. And he's like, "You could do like community college or trade school, but I would recommend going through the union." So that's the fourth thing I learned. And I go, I'm like, "Thank you so much. I appreciate this." And he's like, "Yeah, if you have any questions, ask Jenny to get you my number, or whatever." I'm like, thank you so much." And so I leave, learning one thing about being an electrician.
Yeah.
And I go, "Okay, that was a nightmare. I'm going to grab some food and find Lucas, the one person I know in this place.
Yeah.
The one person I know." There were
It's all his family, right? It's just
20, 30 family
my
members
God.
here. It was not 5, it was 20 to 30 family members.
My worst nightmare.
I am surrounded. I have social anxiety.
Yeah.
This was crazy rough. And I have to lie for my friend because he told a lie for no reason. And
So yeah, the reason he
and
picnicked.
he panics. And so I have my food and I'm like eating a little bit and I'm trying to find Lucas. I'm walking around his gigantic house. And I can't find him. And I go, I'm looking around and eventually find his brother. And I ask his brother, "Hey, do you know where Lucas is?" And his brother goes, "Yeah, he's in the shed over there." And I go, "Cool. Am I good to go over there?" And he's like, "Yeah, absolutely." And so I go to the shed and I find Lucas drinking a beer, just full sitting there quietly by himself. And I'm like, "Lucas, the fuck?" And he's like, "I didn't want to be out there." I'm like, "And you didn't tell me?" I'm like, "You were the one person I know here." He's like, "You know my parents." I'm like, "I don't know. I lie to your parents now." I can't rely on them.
Yeah.
I can't rely on your siblings. I have to rely on you. And he's like, "Well, how about this? You can take a drink from here and come find me later." And I'm like, "I will take that drink. And if I can't find you, I'm going to slap the shit out of you." I'm like, "I learned the fourth thing about being an electrician." And he goes, "What?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it." And so I crack open, and the first sip I take, 1, it's awful. 2, he immediately leaves. And so I'm alone in his grandparents' garage, or they're like, it's so he has his house with his family, and then he has a grandparents' house that has a shed, right? And they're linked or whatever. And so I'm in his grandparents' garage, drinking alcohol that his aunts brought for some reason, for not wanting to be around his family for whatever reason. And so I drink it, it's awful, and then I go, and I down it. I just fucking chug a beer, and it's rough.
Yeah.
It's a rough beer.
Was it a
I'm
bottle or a
18.
can?
It's a can. It's a big can. It's a longer
Cowboy.
tall boy. And I'm like, all right. It doesn't do anything because I did just eat,
And
a
it's
whole.
a beer.
Yeah, it's a beer, and I drank, and I ate like ribs and
Yeah.
a pork sandwich or whatever the fuck. Um, and I go back out, and I'm able to chat, with a few people. I'm able to stick around Lucas, and eventually, Jenny comes up to us. No, uh, Aunt Aunt Tom comes to us and goes, "Hey, I heard that you wanted to become an electrician," and Lucas is right next to me, and I go, "That's right." And I look over at Lucas, and Lucas goes, and I go, and I go, and I grab his arm,
It's like, you're
and
not fucking going
I'm just like, "You're
anywhere.
staying here," um, and let me tell you, this conversation went almost exactly the same. This conversation goes, what got you like interested in being an electrician? And I go, well, my dad was an electrician. I'm like, well, do you have any fun story? How'd your dad get you like intrigued in this? I'm like, well, I know that he was called Sparky, and and she's like, she's like, there's always a Sparky. I'm like, there's always a Sparky. I'm like, that's why you don't work on Live Wire. And she's like, that's right. She's like, do you know what path you're wanting to go down? I'm like, I
You're
know I
like,
can go. I'm like, I know
oh,
I
that's
can
fine.
go down. I know you can go down a like the community college or trade school, but I think I'm gonna go for the union. And she's like, that's the best option. I'm like, you know what? That's so right. And Lucas is sitting there, fucking like hand over mouth, giggling to himself as he's watching me just panic through all four things I know about being an electrician. And so I talked to Aunt Tom for a while, um, and she eventually goes on to say, um, like, yeah, the military has some good options, but the union's the best one. I'm like, okay, I'm adding that to number
Yeah.
4. And she's like, they pay well, and um starting is the hardest part. You have to, and she tells me you have to know this before you even get into a place. And I used to remember what it is. I don't anymore. And something that's number 5. I have to know. I think it was like basic mathematics or whatever the fuck, right? A specific type of math.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. I learned number 5, right?
Yeah.
That's the 5 things I know about being an electrician. Um, and uh, she leaves. Jenny comes up and goes, how did it go? And I'm like, I've learned so much already. Um, and Lucas like has to turn around and laugh as I'm talking to Jenny, and Jenny's like, that's so good, whatever, and it's about to wrap up. And so everything settles down, everybody goes home, our friends come, and they go, how, we wish we could have been here sooner. How would it go? And Lucas went, oh, it went fine. And I would go, don't fucking listen to Lucas. And I
He's
go,
wrong.
he's wrong. And his girlfriend's like, why? His girlfriend at the time. His girlfriend's like, why? And I go, well, I learned a few things about being an electrician. And they go, yeah, like what? And I go, and I go, well, I'm like, I knew a few things. I learned, we'll start with what I learned. I learned, go through the union. I gotta learn basic mathematics. And the things that I knew already is that you don't work on Livewire because they'll call you Sparky. And there's always a Sparky. And that's, it's just, everyone's like, Lucas, that's fucked. No one laughed. Everyone was like, oh god, that's a nightmare.
Yeah.
And I go, yeah.
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 But that's yeah.
But that's my story about our friend Lucas. Um, no, he put me in that shitty situation, like a friend would.
Like a friend would.
Like a friend would.
Are we making this a Lucas episode? Stories about Lucas?
We could make this a Lucas. You know what? How about we make this a Lucas episode and then have Lucas
Have on next week? Yeah. Next week.
Yeah. Next week.
Next week. Like how this
Next
one's
week.
week after our previous episode.
Yes, it's 1 week.
1 week.
We recorded it 1 week ago. Slurp. 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 He's drinking his funny juice.
Yeah.
Do you have any fun stories about our friend Lucas?
I have a recent story of when I showed him and our other friends, Danny and Zoe, Tenacious D, the Pick of
Go
Destiny.
for it. Go
Uh,
for it. I'll sit right here.
and you haven't seen this movie either, have you?
Mm-mm. No,
God,
sir. I've seen clips. I've
you
seen
seen
clips,
clips?
but
Yeah.
mhm.
Uh, I've seen it a few times. I know the famous bits, and so like I was singing along with it, like when he's playing the guitar and everything, and doing Beethoven. And I think the part that they were not ready for it. It's about Jack Black and his partner. It's about this
Yes.
movie about Jack Black and his band member Kyle Gass, and they're a rock and roll band, and they find a piece of devil's boot or horn or something, and they play cool music. It's funny, and there's a part where they split up, they get into a big fight, and Jack Black goes into the he goes to the forest and just finds some mushrooms. And he's like, oh, I'm tired, and eats these wild mushrooms on the ground. And I know what's about to happen. And Danny, who's our friend, who is like me and has
Mm-hmm.
also eaten mushrooms before on a pizza, like
On a
normal
pizza.
people
That's
do.
that's exactly what I was gonna say. On a pizza.
Um, and they knew what was gonna happen. And
Mm-hmm.
so it goes slowly, where he's just talking to Bigfoot, and he finds out Bigfoot played by John C. Riley, which is amazing. And he talks like this: "You're my son, Jack Black, because you're Bigfoot too." And it turns, and it's a face to face. It's Jack Black. Then it cuts to Bigfoot, John C. Riley. Then it cuts to Jack Black as a Bigfoot. And then they ride a unicorn into the sky that farts rainbows, obviously. And then he goes like swimming or something, and it's a hard cut to him just in rapids, just flopping around. And everyone just dies laughing.
Oh God.
Oh god! And then, what else happened? And the rest of the movie, it's a funny movie. If you haven't seen it, you should see it. Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. Not sponsored by Tenacious D. We would.
We would. Oh my god, Jack Blackhead is up right now.
Oh my God. We will advertise you more, Jack Black.
Yeah,
What if you just acknowledge our presence? We'll advertise you for a year.
honestly, yeah.
Honestly, God, I'd talk about that forever.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh Lord. No, we love our friend
We love
Lucas.
our friend Lucas.
We love our friend Lucas.
What's a
Uh,
fun apartment story we have? Because me and Xander and Lucas all lived together
yes.
after when was it? Was it immediately after high school?
It
Yup.
was we yeah, no, we moved in November and you moved in December.
Yeah.
You moved in late December, but we moved in November 1st,
I went
two
to
years ago.
I went to a semester of college, photography college, and then I was like, nah, I don't like this. It gives me anxiety, and I don't want to do school, and I don't have to do this school. My brother gave me a job back up in Kansas City, and so I was like, I came up for what, Christmas break or something, and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, man, this is so cool that you guys are just living together. I could totally just like live
Mm-hmm.
here. And they were like, you wanna? And I was like, I mean, kind of, but like I'm at school, and then I was like, "Hey, you know when you told?" I texted them when I was deciding to not go to the next semester. I was like, "Remember when you said that I could live with y'all? Could I?
Can I?
Can I?"
You're like, yeah.
And yeah, they were. You guys were immediately like, "Yeah, sure." And then I moved in with you guys after
Mm-hmm.
my or first and only semester of college.
Mm-hmm.
No Crowder Rough Riders.
Woo. Woo. Lord. I remember when Lucas gave us all COVID. And I had
Yeah,
COVID during my birthday.
yeah, yeah. That was
We love our friend
sucks. We love
Lucas.
our friend Lucas.
We love our friend Lucas. I couldn't have a birthday party because Lucas went to a New Year's party. My birthday is the 21st of January. New Year's is obviously the 1st. And
Well, this year it is.
and he went to a New Year's party um and somebody had COVID and then hung out with that person again I think later And this was 2021, so COVID was running. No, this is 2022, the very beginning of 2022.
Yeah.
COVID was running crazy rampant, and it was like 2 full weeks, whatever. And so to be safe, we tested for COVID. He tested for COVID positively, like a week before my birthday, somewhere around there, like the 14th.
Yeah.
And so we couldn't have anyone in the apartment, other than us. And
We
it
hope
was rough.
because he had his own room, and then we
Mm-hmm.
shared a room. We just
Mm-hmm.
hoped that if he stayed in his room, then he was
Mm-hmm.
like, "No, I want to play on my computer." And so he came out, was on his computer with us, and we're like,
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we love we love our friend Lucas.
We have to keep saying it. That's how much we love
We have to. I feel so bad because all the stories I have of him are like
him. Oh,
negatively
yeah, yeah,
reflective.
yeah.
We love him. We love him dearly.
He is a very good friend. He is a very
He's a very supportive
supportive.
friend.
Yes, that's yeah.
He's
The
so
nicest
he's
guy.
so good. Nicest guy. He helped me through. I was struggling with unemployment for most of 2021 or 2022, and he covered me
Yeah.
so much. I've been able to pay him back, thankfully. But he's a good guy.
He's a
He
really
may
nice
do some shitty things,
guy.
but
Don't we
it's
all?
never it was never intentionally, and it was never in bad spirit.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. He's a good man. We love him very dearly. Um, God.
Uh,
No, well, we're gonna have him on next week.
yeah.
We're gonna do it, and if he doesn't want to be on, we're gonna make him
We're
come
gonna
on.
force him.
We're gonna make him. We're gonna force him. Maybe we'll have some questions. Maybe he'll have some questions for us.
Yeah, that would be
Um,
fun. Interview
uh, interview Lucas.
Lucas.
Maybe reverse interview where he interviews us.
Behind the scenes, folks. This is how we plan.
Mm-hmm. Montez. How's life treating you, bud?
I mean, it's a steady. I had my car shit out on me like 2 months, 2 weeks ago. That
Mm-hmm.
wasn't fun. But
Bet not.
no, I was thinking I was gonna get a new car. Well, not gonna. I was having to have to get a new car until we decided just to get my car fixed. So now I'm not. That's funny.
And that's a funny. Oh Lord, God. All right. Do we want? What do we want to do with this podcast for the rest of this podcast?
Yeah,
I told my stand up bit about Lucas.
yeah, yeah. I was gonna say that felt very. I could feel the structure of it.
Mm-hmm. I always struggled. I never did anything with it because that third, I wanted the rule of three with what I knew,
Yeah.
but it wasn't as funny, and so I guess I could make it about me becoming a maintenance person, and where I started
Yeah.
because I wasn't called Sparky, but I definitely, you know what? I'll tell that story. Um, I became a maintenance guy for a company. Um, because my brother-in-law worked as a maintenance guy and I wanted a full-time job, and so I became a part-timer and then moved my way into full-time. It was a very shitty situation. They did not pay me enough. um, so I am not going to say the name of the company. I am not going to say the name of the company. I'm not going to say the name of the company. They're a shitty company. um, but regardless,
But it rhymes
um,
with.
but no, I was a maintenance guy and it was a lot of fun. It was one of the times that I've like genuinely really really enjoyed my job. I worked with two people, my brother-in-law, and who's watching this. Hello, Noah. How's it going? We love you. Um, and this guy who I don't want to give the real name to. He was a very private person.
uh,
Um,
uh, uh, Dylan.
we'll say Dylan. Um, so uh, Dylan,
Yes, that's my name.
that's his name. Uh, so we were replacing lights in a changing room in the bathroom changing room. It was all linked. Um, and I was an electrician or I was a maintenance guy for a few, I think 3 or 4 months by that point. I've worked on a few lights, and we were changing out the lights to become from a um, I forgot what it's called. It was the tubes. It was we were moving it from. God, this is gonna be so boring for people who do not care. Um,
Here,
Ballast
for people
to
who don't care,
LEDs.
for people who don't care about this, join me.
Okay. Um, so we were moving from ballast to LEDs. So
Slurp,
basically taking it and reconnecting the wires,
slurp,
taking out two components,
slurp,
making it not have to use those.
slurp.
That's pretty much it. Um, but we have to do this for the men's and women's bathroom, and I have to get through. I think I did 12 without a problem, and on fucking number 13. I'm talking to Dylan about his personal life. Um, I'm talking to him about his mom, who was having some complications, and it was a very impactful thing. And he says something very like heartful, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I love her. I just want her to get better, and I'm scared that it's genetic or something." And I go, "Yeah, man," and I snip it, and then it goes. And it stops. It shorts out. And I'm sitting there frozen, and Dylan's losing his shit. He's laughing so hard. We're both on ladders. And he's just fucking cackling to himself as he's just like, "You fucking idiot." And I'm like, "Look, man, it had to happen eventually." And he's like,
It hurt.
and he's like, "You're the first one to do Sparky," and I'm like, "God damn it!"
Does it hurt? Is it just
No,
like
it didn't.
in-
I had gloves. We were being smart about it. It just sparked
It's
up.
scared.
It didn't.
It was more of a
It was
scare.
scary. It was scary, but we were prepared.
Yeah.
For somebody to do it wrong, especially because I was newer to the process. But it was just so I blew up something. Oh God, no, that job, man. A lot of stories from that job.
We'll get to him eventually.
We'll get to them eventually. They'll come up, I hope.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll interview Noah. We'll have Noah on at some point. That'd be fun.
I talk about the time my job turned away fucking Tech Nine.
Yeah.
So it's like I think it's like the Monday after a Chiefs game, and
Mhm.
it might have been I think it was a home game, and so we had a lot of people there from people coming in for I think it was probably a Chargers game or something, and I was told that the cheapest flights were on Tuesday, so we'd have a lot of people on Monday all day. So I don't normally work Mondays. Job calls me in to come work, and we're busy. I got a couple friends working with me, and all of a sudden over our radio, I hear T Pain's here, or not T Pain. Sorry, uh, Tech Nine is here, and he wants to be sat immediately. And we had like probably 100 plus people on wait at this point. So he was not getting a table immediately um, because we had some that were open, but they were for reservations for that were coming up. And so he leaves, he's like, fuck it, I'm not waiting the what hour probably it was to sit down. And like 5 minutes later, we get calls in saying, hey, we're not gonna be able to make it today. Can we cancel our reservation? 5 tables worth of reservations clear up immediately, and they're like,
Damn.
we could have sat. Damn it, I was gonna say T Pain again. We could have sat Tech Nine,
We could have sat Tech 9.
but we did see what's his name? The guy, the Tupperware guy. It's like it was a morning shift, so it was either Sunday, Monday, or a Friday. And I got there at noon, and we opened at 11. So he was there when I got there, and he's just sitting there. I look at him. I was cleaning a table next to him. I was like, "It's so fucking familiar. Who is that?" And I look at him. I was like, it like took a minute. And I was like, Tupperware. I said it out loud while I was putting dishes away. So my coworkers were like, "What the fuck? What?"
God.
Uh,
Do you? Did you say anything?
I didn't. I no. Are you kidding me? With my social anxiety? Fuck no.
I
No.
I
I admired from afar, looking through windows, and I was like,
mhm.
"Is that him?"
I've
We
never.
eventually looked it up because I was not 100% sure. So I went to its
Mhm.
TikTok page and I saw that he had a tattoo on a video. I was like, "That's him." So
Mhm.
I go around telling everyone, guys, have you seen the viral TikTok where the guy says Tupperware like an idiot? Yeah, he's out there.
God, no, I've never seen anyone like. I guess I've never seen anyone famous like out in the wild,
Yeah,
or
that's
like or of any notoriety out in the
yeah.
wild that I've known at the very least that I've ever recognized. Um, so I have zero clue how I would react. Like I've been to two concerts of the same band, right, and that's it.
Forget Rex is a band and not him.
Three concerts. Forgot about that. Yes, I saw Rex Orange County, and then I saw Ninja Sex Party twice.
Oh yeah,
And that's it.
that's it.
That's it. But no, I have no clue how I'd react. Um,
I would sound like a lunatic. People.
no, I want to believe that I would have the ability to be up and be like, hey,
Balls.
I don't want to bother you. I want you to know that
I've seen you in
I'm a
this.
fan.
Yeah,
I like I've enjoyed what I've seen of you. Keep doing what you're doing.
yeah. That's
And
it.
that's about it. That's it. I want to believe that I can do that. Cuz believe you me, I'm not striking up a conversation.
No.
I cannot do that. Unless they initiate the conversation, I am not striking up a conversation with somebody. I know I cannot do that, but I know that I think that I want to believe that I could be like, hey, genuinely, like just like I've enjoyed what I've seen. Thank you very much. Keep doing what you're doing. Have a good day. Right. Just a quick little something. That way they can be like, cool, and then not, and then not. Right.
Yeah.
I don't want to bother them. I could not ask for a picture unless they were like, "Do you want a picture?" And then I'd be like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
dude.
please,
Yeah.
yes, Tupperware guy, guys."
Yeah.
Oh Lord. Hey, Chris.
Chris, if
If
you want to
I'm
sponsor
sorry,
us,
you know what, Mister DeStefano. Let's be very clear here. We are below you.
we
If you see this again, in any way, acknowledge us. We will um
sponsor your
sponsor
podcast.
we will sponsor we will
Advertise.
talk about it for advertise for you for a year. If you want to come here and be on our podcast, I would cry, I think if any person of notoriety came, I think I would do a deep dive into them just so
Oh,
that I like
100%.
just so I'd be like, okay,
Okay, yeah.
hi, Chris Stefano, I've watched all of your comedy specials in the
I
last 24 hours, and
would study for them harder than I studied for any test in my life.
mm-hmm.
100%.
God, yeah.
ACTs, fuck that. Kristen Stefano, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Episode 100.
That was 100.
Episode 100. Hey, in the last recording that we are unable to produce, um, Montez made the promise that at episode 100 we are going to be doing the SATs and what else?
ACTs
Eh,
and a
oh,
maxing out our weight lifts with like the big lifts like back squat, bench
mhm,
press.
gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
Are we doing it? Are we ranking it based on just how much or percentage in comparison to
We're just
us?
comparing to each other to see if
To each
we're
other?
yeah, to see if we're actually the dumb one and the weak one.
Buddy, buddy, I think it should be percentage of body, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Then
let me tell
how do
you,
we scale for percentage of brain?
percentage of well,
Yeah.
in theory, we have a brain capable of the same things. In
In
theory.
theory.
In theory.
Anyways, giggle juice. Keep talking about that theory.
Oh, in theory, because I mean he has ADHD, which would be rough and worse for the ACT. But I don't know. Um, I don't think either of us took. Did you take an actual ACT? Because I only took the PACT, and then
Pick an actual ACT. I had to for college.
well, I didn't. And so I was gonna say we can compare it to our regular ones, but I didn't. I didn't take it because I didn't have the money. We got a free one, and I said I don't have the money to go to college. This is going to be a waste of time. Um, and then they were like community college. And I was like, I don't have the money for the books. I don't
Yeah,
know what to tell
honestly,
you. I,
so stupid.
yeah. Oh Lord, no. It's we are too young.
We lost all of that good footage of you dismantling capitalism.
Yes, we lost. I said the 3-step plan to getting a better job is, quit, get a cat, dismantle capitalism. It's a 3-step plan.
Then
Good plan.
good plan.
It's a good plan. If you need help, call me.
He's got it all worked out. I've seen it.
I do. I've done it before. Questions?
On for me to you
No. Do you have? Yeah. Do you have any questions?
on how to dismantle capitalism.
Well, just yeah, sure. About anything. About dismantling capitalism in any way. I did just say I've done it before.
how
You can say
much?
no.
How much does Ronald McDonald come into factor?
I'd say about surprisingly like 2%, which is way too much when you
So
think
much
about
Ronald
it.
McDonald. Holy shit!
That's so much, like in comparison to what it could
Like
be.
his
That's
whole
way.
nose.
That's that's a lot of Ronald McDonald in comparison to all of capitalism.
uh, I don't want to ask any more questions. Actually,
Understood.
uh,
Lord. Okay. Fuck.
what else? What else is in our lives right now?
What's in our lives?
What's coming up? What's
Um,
coming up that we're looking forward to?
I'm getting a new job. I
You're
don't think
getting
we've talked about that part yet. I know
no
we talked about you
giving
getting me a
getting you a
job.
job.
No, I'm working out. I'm starting to work with Montes and Lucas. And hopefully it'll be all fun and good and cool.
It's not hard.
Um,
I can do it. So
well, my current job isn't hard. It's just shitty
it's
management.
yeah.
Hey, if you work there and you're my manager, you fuck.
Good thing you're not working
Don't
there
care.
anymore.
Don't. I do not care. Like my managers as people, and you can if you stopped watching, then it sucks. My managers as people are good people. They are bad managers. They when they were hiring, when they were promoting people, they were not looking at management material. They were looking at are you a good enough custodian to actually, you know,
Yeah.
to have the knowledge, not the like perseverance or anything.
I love all
Yeah.
of my managers. They're all great and they do their job incredibly well. Please let
The
me serve.
the one
Please.
manager that I've met was cool.
She's nice. She's very nice.
She was pretty cool. I finished all of my things. I finished it during my meeting yesterday. Um yeah, by the way, in a 1 week span, I'm going to 4 meetings.
That's stupid.
That's not including any ones for my new job. That's all the job I'm leaving now. It used to be once a week, and now I have 4.
Why? What are the 4 meetings about? Which ones do you
If
need
I
for the next 2 weeks?
one of them,
Fucking go to that one. Screw the rest
but
of them.
I have to go to all of them. I already went to 2 of them. And the other one I'm going to the other 2 I'm going to. One's a weekly meeting, which is most likely going to be the goodbye Xander meeting. If not a here's everything wrong with
Oh, that's right.
lunch and whatever.
Oh, that's not right. I thought you were talking about you got to have like an exit interview, right? Or
Yes, and then the one after that is an exit interview, which means that I'm going to be able to go to the people above my managers and be like, "This is everything that I've had wrong."
can you sneak your phone in and maybe record what you say? I
Why?
just want to hear you shitting on them so bad.
No,
Just,
I mean, I'll freely talk about it. That seems like an after a podcast
yeah. Oh
thing.
no, 100%. Montez
Um,
wanted that for
Monsters,
Montez.
what's it? If you're interested, get in the comments.
Get in the comments.
Like, comment, and subscribe
Also,
if you wanna hear me talk shit about my old job,
yeah,
my current job, which is gonna be old by the time
this,
we at least record the next
yeah,
podcast. Hopefully not by the time. Hopefully I'll still work there. Hopefully we can get done editing this podcast this week.
yeah.
No promises.
No, no promise.
No promises.
Um, by the way, I don't think we've talked about this in this recording on the one we
Mhm.
did before. I think we did, but send questions,
Hey,
please,
send questions.
please. We'll have a link
Hey,
here,
send questions. Well, yes, link.
here.
Our email.
Link,
Send it
link,
to our email.
link will be here. You have to keep moving it around with my hands.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that.
No, we got it. You have to for because
I,
it's the
I'm,
funny bit now.
yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. Hey, editing me. High five myself for not doing that. I'm gonna do that,
Yeah, I know you.
except for when I don't.
Except for when you don't.
No.
There should be
Oh
a link in the
Lord,
description that
there should,
and also this
there
should
should,
look prettier because there's
there should.
the
I should. I'm
outlining.
putting a background on it. Yeah. Um, yeah. I think we're gonna get close to wrapping it up.
Yeah,
Um, sorry we didn't give any advice.
no advice.
Sorry to Noah, who is the one person who put questions in.
Now that we're not actually doing the questions, we should talk about the questions.
We should, yeah, let's talk.
We
So Noah sent in 4 questions, one of which was usable, one of which was augmentable, and 2 of which were not usable at all. He is a viewer of the podcast. He is my brother-in-law. I love him dearly.
mate.
Um, housemate, great guy, and the fact that he did it at all is good enough for us. And we did record doing it and doing those bits.
Yeah,
Um, but as we said,
it's
the previous recording, the audio is fucked on both ends for different reasons, and
well for
now
the same reason, different results.
yeah, same reason, different results. Um, and we've chosen not to do it
Again,
again because
we don't
I
want to
th-
be forced.
we don't want it to be forced, and I don't think I can think of anything else
Yeah,
for it. Um, so you know what? Here's what we'll
we'll
do.
put like a little
We'll
picture
leave
of
it.
it.
We can either put a picture of it. I think I'm gonna read it.
Yeah,
And comment what you think will be a good answer.
sure.
Yeah. And so the first question was, Dear Dumb and Weak, I have time making decisions. I assume it means
A tough
I
time.
have a hard time
Yeah.
making decisions, or a tough time. So I use the eeny, meeny, miny, mo method. Do you have any suggestions on different methods to try so I can make better decisions? And this is from Inexperienced at Life. By the way, if you want to leave questions, we appreciate if you would leave them anonymously with like a catchy handle.
Yeah.
Something relatively related.
If you don't want to, we can make one up.
We can make one up. But we'd prefer not to. We're bad at it. But no, we initially said switch up eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Yeah.
Add a couple more syllables, maybe, go on a tangent. Because the way that Montez did it was a set amount. It was 16.
Yeah.
The way I did it was like a few
More.
more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you would be able to pick it out exactly. And that was that, and then it was do brackets. We did a lot of tournaments. Do tournaments.
Make decisions.
to make decisions. A coin flipping tournament where all your choices are like on a bracket, and then heads one wins, tails the other wins. And then we also said AI chess for it.
Yeah.
Do a bracket with decisions as the goal, as the bracket. If you need to make it over a long period of time, and you have 32 decisions, make it each football team. I know Noah's a football guy.
Yeah.
If you have 32 choices to make, or 32 choices
32 options
in one decision, 32 options for one decision, and you have the time to wait a season, whichever one wins the Super Bowl,
that's the one.
Is the decision.
Yeah.
And that one's for you, Noah. I know you love football. And the other one,
when you have 32 names for your next child, that's how we do it. Name him.
Oh Lord. Name him after the team.
Damn it! I couldn't get it out. This is my child, Bengals.
This is my child, Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati's not a bad child name.
Cincinnati is not a bad.
Bengals is a bad child.
What would be the worst NFL team name, like for a human?
Jet. No, Jet's good.
Jet's cool. It's just real cool.
Jet's cool. Jet's cool. Texan. That one's also for you. Noah's a Texan fan. His least favorite would be Cowboy. Cowboys. Yeah. Dolphin's not great.
It's not great.
Chief is fine.
49er.
49er is pretty rough. God. Packer. Packer's fine.
I can totally see that.
If I saw a kid named Packer, I'd be like, yeah, whatever.
Oh God. There was a kid. Oh, I don't.
Commander.
I can't. Okay. Pause. So that if we need to cut this out. There was a kid at my work, just like as a customer, whose name was Wilder Johnson.
It's a cool name.
It made me think that his parents gave him a porn name, because that's a porn name.
That is a porn name.
And he was running around, and I learned it. I heard it because the dad went, "Get back here, Wilder Johnson!"
Wilder Johnson.
I can't get that Wild Johnson out of control.
I can't. It's wild.
Sorry, Wilder, for doxing you like that.
Yeah, sorry, Wilder Johnson. Oh, anyways,
the next question from his thing.
The next question was about. I'm not gonna read it exactly because it was based on a song.
It was
and it was a little depressing.
Yeah, it was.
But
real
it was about.
Sad.
It was about hating your job, and nothing going your way, and wanting things to change. And so we, I don't know, we didn't give great. I said dismantle capitalism.
Yeah, that's how we got to that.
I also said work hard, play hard.
Yeah, we said that a lot.
I did say it a lot. Well, you gotta work hard, play hard.
Yeah.
But
the next two were just not great. But
no, I'm not reading the next two.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Noah. Sorry, Noah. But I told you about this before.
Yeah. It was but they were bad on purpose. So it was.
They were bad on purpose.
It was not him trying to like give us questions and they were just bad questions. He was increasingly making them worse.
Yes.
And not usable.
Yes. But anyway, thank you again, Noah, for doing that. Second, if you comment what you think the answer to those questions are.
Yeah.
Comment what your advice would be. And don't listen to it. Our advice, we did not put a disclaimer on this one because we have not given advice yet.
No. Don't listen.
But
disclaimer: don't listen to the advice that we just said about earlier.
Yeah, don't. Hey, we're wrong.
We're wrong.
That's what we said last time. Is we're just wrong.
And you should know.
If we're right, then whatever. Follow it on your own volition.
Discretion.
We do not. Yeah, discretion. We don't. We're not doing this to actually advise people. We're doing this to make funny.
Hey, we both said make funny.
We did both make funny. We did both say make funny. We did not both make funny. I would say neither of us have made funny. All right.
All right. Yeah.
I think that's the end of the podcast.
End of yeah. This got uh, thrown together on the whim
Thrown
kind of
together.
podcast.
Yeah.
Hopefully
You know what?
next week won't be as uh free balling as this one.
Hopefully, you know what? Maybe if free balling does better, if
Honestly,
you like, if you like the free balling format, like, comment, and subscribe.
and if you didn't, uh,
Comment, subscribe, and like.
then like yeah, do it in the
Mm-hmm.
first one.
Yeah, yeah. We'll know.
Well, yeah, YouTube tells us.
YouTube, yeah, YouTube analytics. I'm not sure if you've ever seen them. It lets you know.
Anyways,
Um,
that's it. Yeah.
that's it. Yeah. Do we want to end it off in any special way? Ow! I'm cutting that out.
How do we? How did we last time?
Like last recording or
Last
podcast?
podcast. Last episode.
You said we're saying something. I got a call from Obama.
Oh no, we're not doing that again. um.
We ended off with Obama saying something. A little piece of advice, which was
Yeah.
like,
Did we?
yeah,
Do you think Lucas is awake? Should we text Lucas and tell him what? Ask him what his
no,
advice to send off would be.
I don't want to wait that long.
Fair. Yeah.
Hey, Lucas notoriously bad at responding to texts on time.
Um.
God. I'd say, uh, last piece of advice. Again, do not take this seriously.
Yes.
Um,
If you're gonna drink alcohol, do it with your friends very quickly.
yes. Do it quickly and don't eat anything, and do a handstand. If you're gonna drink alcohol, do it
Oh
fast
my
and
God.
hard.
Next podcast, I have a story. Anyways, continue.
Okay. Wait. Next time on Dumb and Weak, Montez has a story. Write it down.
Honestly, yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Have a good night, guys, or
Night.
morning, or
Whatever.